has left the party. You were in Blue-Eyed Billy's cave, and if you recall, there was the sound of crashing rocks and cannon blasts as his cave was being assaulted by what appeared to be a large fleet of ships flying Bane's banner. So before you guys could get injured, and before you guys decided to kick a tied-up guard into the water, William LaCroix walked up to Siona and, seeing the Spirit of Ironsong in her, gave her the key that he held, saying that he knew that he could entrust it with her, and then he whisked you all away to where he thought the last known location of one of the other key holders may have been, seeing as that we are now on this quest to try to keep the church from maybe opening this scroll and perhaps bringing Bane back into this material plane. So, as you are standing there, the cave starts to fade away. The booming sounds of the crashing rocks and the cannon blasts all but fade in an instant. And Raz, as you start looking around your surroundings, you look around and none of your party members are near you. You can see trees all around you, but nothing yields any immediate information that you can, though you can still see it's midday.
And I have no idea how far away the cave that we were in is from me?
No, you do not. So, you're looking around, and again, you can see it's still a time of day. It still feels like it's a temperate area, but it is definitely more wooded than what you have seen. You do, however, feel a new power coursing through your body. One that feels like you've been aware of it for some time, but you're just now realizing its existence. Would you care to tell us a little bit about what's happening with Raz?
Yeah, ever since he encountered the fire at the church and he took one of the Bibles, it's this strange presence has been invading him. One that he doesn't understand. One that has only talked to him so far in dream. He tells me that it tells me that I'm currently on the right path, that I'm doing its bidding, but I don't understand what it is. I don't understand its purpose. Merely that I'm on the path of greatness. Not greatness for me, greatness for him. I'm clearly someone's pawn, and while I don't like it, I feel compelled to go forward.
I see. So, with this compulsion, you're looking around and you feel, or at least I would imagine, you might want to look for everybody that was once, just a moment ago, standing next to you.
I look around, I call everyone's name, one by one, louder and louder. Do I hear any response?
You do not. But you do see a path, crude paths kind of cut into the tree lines. Nothing that looks like it's well traveled. Some heading east, some heading north. Perhaps a path might be a good try.
I'll take. So you said it's midday. I'll take the eastern path, going towards I think the sun's probably rising from.
Okay. So, as you start heading eastward, the trees start to break and you come across a clearing. Now, you've been traveling for an hour or so. The trees have kind of been, breaking, and there's not been anything other than the random woodland creature, some squirrels and moles, and you can see some birds going around. But as you come across this clearing, and it opens up in front of you, and out towards the middle of the clearing, you see Eldon, who is kneeling as if in a trance or perhaps a deep prayer. So, Eldon, we cut over to you, and you have this prayer. Is this something you would like to share, or would you like me to share it?
I can go ahead.
All right, go ahead with the prayer, and I'll tell you the outcome of that.
Okay. Denier, I've been faithful and in following your guidance. But I feel my new path, my true path, is with these companions, is to help them as best I can, and I really, really want to have be empowered to help them more in our travels and in our in our challenges, especially in protecting them from harm.
Okay. So in this prayer, it has, you're deep in prayer, beseeching to your deity, and asking him for his strength, and he looks down upon you, and he sees that your strength has lied more with the domain of life, and in this dream he introduces you to Eldath, who reaches upon you, touches your mind, and brings to you a calm, a calming to your fear. She swims through your life and your experiences, emphasizing among all that knowledge that he has collected, and emphasizes his healing strength. When you wake, you find the emblem on your shield has been altered. Where once was a burning flame is now a tall, cascading waterfall, and where the eye was, you see that it has been transformed into a pool of water. You feel that the blessing of Eldath, it's enveloping you as the once familiar blessing of Denier slowly fades away. And as you come to out of this deep prayer, and you once again become aware of your surroundings, you happen to see Raziel looking at you in a stunned amazement, as he has just witnessed Eldon bathed in this holy supernatural light as this entire transformation took place.
Eldon, it's good to see you. Where is everyone? What's happened to you? You look so different.
I've asked to be empowered to help our group. I've been praying, but I don't know where everyone else is. We were just in the cavern, and then I was here praying.
Have you seen anyone else?
No, you're the first I've seen.
Do you have any idea where we are?
I don't recognize where we are.
Do we see any other paths nearby?
Again, there seems to be some clearing there. Raziel, as I'm going to have to get used to this passive perception here, you do catch a glimpse of what you feel is salt air on the breeze coming from the south, and it seems like there may be a large body of water, at least within a day or two's journey from you. you do see and the trees and the forest is fairly thick around you. As you and Eldon are wandering through the forest again, continuing to find or look for the rest of your party, you do, off in the distance, and when you're talking in, long distance, at the crest of a tall hill that happens to be visible between the breaks in the trees, you do see the spire of a stone temple off in the distance, though there's no clear markings that lead that direction.
Is this across the body of water?
No, you don't see the body of water either. You just happen to catch the scent, the faint scent of like what you feel is salt air.
Seeing basically no other markers of notes, I kind of nod over to Eldon towards that stone structure and maybe suggest we make our way over there.
Yeah. Now it's faint. I mean, you're talking, edge of vision here, but you can see a marking there. But if you want to head that way, that's good enough.
William sent us here, I guess. I guess we should look for. I mean, we're still looking for our party, so for our companions. But it's does that look like civilization in that direction, or that we should be maybe heading that way?
Well, as you're watching it, you do see some smoke as what looks like it could be coming from a forge or something in that general direction. Maybe a couple of mile or two. It's not near, but you do see something that indicates that there is a civilization near you.
Okay. Wonder if this is where he meant to send us as far as where this was for the other key, correct?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, in character, yeah, that's the last thing we heard him say.
Well, let's find the rest of our companions.
To that structure then?
All right.
Have we checked all the immediate vicinity?
So let's go ahead and say that y'all are starting to move that direction.
Okay.
As you're walking, that you go in the general direction of where that smoke was, or where you think that smoke is coming from, and again, it is a fairly wooded area. You do see some hills and valleys as you're passing through. And you come across this next a little bit of a clearing. It's a little bit of a meadow, and all of a sudden you see the birds kind of scattering and this chittering of the woodland creatures, and you hear this heavy wind, this boom, 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 as you look up, and this red dragon comes swooping overhead towards the stone, towards that stone temple in that general direction, and it lets forth this massive roar that just shudders through the forest. And again, you hear these woodland creatures just cower in fright as you enter into this.
I immediately duck for cover.
I'm with him.
Across the way in this clearing, Siona and Corin come stumbling out, or they not stumbling, but they come out of the clearing, also ducked down low, as staring at this red dragon as it flies off into the distance.
I just, look at it and I guess, again, also fear and duck behind whatever's nearby, glancing around.
Yeah, I mean, can I duck behind a tree or something? You said we came out of the woods with the clear.
Yeah. Y'all are all kind of cowering behind this, taking cover because if this is a frightening thing. But it's as if you're looking at it and it's coming over from let's say that you're facing the south. This thing comes just swooping in. It's like buzzing the meadow as it goes through, and it swoops off towards this northern area. And it does not appear to be stopping, but it is enough to scare the bejesus out of you guys. So,
how far away from the rest of the group are we? Or do we even see them?
I'm not sure. Y'all are all cowering. So this is, an open field. I'd say roll perception. So Corin may not see them, but I would say, let's get all those rolls out of the way.
We're all cowering, so
I don't see anything. I see the tree I'm hiding behind.
Yeah.
I'm heads down.
All right. So that said, other than that, what do y'all want to do? Y'all are cowering. Where do you go from here?
I'm gonna wait till I can't hear the dragon anymore, but I'm gonna still cower. What do I hear?
The sound of the dragon seems to be heading off into the distance. You don't get the feeling that it noticed anything there worth its time. It looks like you just happened to be in the area as this massive dragon just was heading in haste somewhere.
I nudge Eldon and be like, I think the coast is clear. I'll stand back up and look around.
It was headed towards the direction we were heading?
It was heading in a general northward.
And we were heading north? Sorry for forgetting.
Yeah, you were heading northish.
Okay. I think that's still the right direction. Raz?
Oh yes. Yes. Let's keep walking. What? Dragon.
I am using prestidigitation to make sure my pants are clean.
All right, so Corin has clean pants, which is good. Sienna is very thankful for that. As you're stumbling forward, you kind of pop your head out, Raz, and into the clearing. At which point, Sienna picks you out of the distance and notices you.
Oh, and I notice Corin casting prestidigitation on himself. I go, oh, that's a good trick. I'll use that next time. And I learned prestidigitation.
Wait, I need a sound effect, don't I?
Anybody mind giving us?
Do what? You kind of cut out there.
Hey, thanks. Could we get some of that?
Yeah, I guess since it is a ranged spell, I guess I could go ahead and help you out too, and I prestidigitate anybody who asks for it.
So never did you think you'd be a spell casting ass wiper, did you?
As long as it's a ranged spell. I mean, I could use the mage hand. if you want that more personal touch. It's invisible. You'll never see it coming.
Yeah, but we'll feel it. That's the problem.
All right, so the party has been has mostly met up. The four of you are there. Thongrim is apparently nowhere to be found. Do y'all want to continue heading in that general direction, or do y'all want to catch up and see what's going on?
Siono, do you recognize where we are, Siona?
Do I recognize where we are?
As she's got the map mind, or
You do have.
Oh. Yeah, I do recognize like landmarks and stuff.
Hang on.
still a postage stamp for me.
You need to zoom back in a little bit. Our test is over for now.
Actually, it's not letting me zoom. Oh, there it goes.
Okay, so let me reorient myself. So the last time, if you recall back in the day, let me go to where you can actually see when I ping things. Right here, that's where landfall was. Oldenburg was over here. Castle Frederick was in this general area, kind of the southwest of this. So when you came back and you got whisked away back to Blue-Eyed Billy, which his cavern was up on the bluffs here in this general area.
Do we know where his cavern was? Because his cavern was through a portal when we got to him, so...
That is true.
His cavern could have been anywhere.
But that's where the little tavern was?
Yes, that's where the tavern was.
Yeah, the tavern on the bluff, yeah.
Yes, actually, good recollection. Yes, there was a portal there. And I've been staring at the map the entire time going, what is that? And yes, you were correct. It was the portal. So you were true in saying that you don't really know where that cave was. Just you know how you got to it. So when he whisked you away, when you feel, when Raz felt like the salt, there was salt in the air and everything, coming from the south, I would say you're somewhere in this general area.
Oh my.
Well, now.
And that's because Siona would recognize that at this point.
Yes. I could have her roll a nature check, but we're just gonna go with it. Now, I can't remember directly if she ever found a map or if Eldon ever found anything in the books that he was looking through back at Blackmore's Manor or in the stuff from Oldenburg. But y'all are slowly kind of, well, you get a general idea of where you are.
So we don't see, we're reunited, minus a Thongrim. We can see the tower, or the structure.
And you did see some smoke billowing again, as if there was a forge. So civilization is not terribly far away from you in the grand scheme of things.
I would definitely suggest we go towards the smoke. But I, for one, am not up for leading that venture, considering we just saw a frickin' dragon. Anyone want to lead the way?
I can lead the way. Where are we going?
Hang on.
I guess the structure, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't see anything else.
So are we going into the distance, or is this something that would require Corin to maybe scout?
Not yet. I mean, you're not going towards. You're heading towards the smoke, which was more, again, more of a closer thing. You just, it's, I'm putting up as a landmark. You see something, that's up on towards the hill. So if we say that you're in, you can't see where I'm pinging there. Sorry, hang on. If we say that you're in this wooded area towards the southern areas there, it's the higher elevations are in these mountain areas, so you can see this stone spire there. The we zoom in a little towards that northwestern part of the forested wooded area is where you believe that smoke is coming from.
Probably a good idea to head towards somewhere we, civilization type area, township. But are we concerned we haven't seen Thongrim anywhere?
Was that a
Did
question?
the dragon go in the direction of the smoke, or did the dragon go away from the smoke?
The dragon seemed to be heading more towards the mountain areas, not necessarily towards the smoke. If you were facing due north, the smoke would be more westerly, whereas the dragon was heading more towards the northeast.
I head towards the smoke.
Yeah, definitely away from the dragon.
Let's go towards the thing the dragon just burned.
I mean, I would love to have a flying mount, but...
Oh. Mount. Oh, where'd our mounts go? Has anyone seen
Our mounts were left behind when we got teleported out of the castle.
Yes, I realize.
So speaking of that, I'm really kind of hurt. If we could find some place, maybe take a nap.
What time of day is it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's midday. We just got out of a fight, kind of thing. We're still probably all.
That's right. We got out of a fight, then we went to his cave, and then he. So we've done 2 teleports, basically, right?
Right. So when you got here, it was midday. You've been traveling, I'd say, a couple of hours at this point. It took an hour or so for us to stumble upon where Eldon was. It took, a little while longer for you guys to sight the dragon. So I'd say it's mid-afternoon, maybe mid to late afternoon.
So other than the smoke or the dragon, is there anywhere like nearby that would be good for a camp? And we just call it an early day? Since we're kind of hurting?
It sounds reasonable to me. Roll me a nature check.
How about survival?
Survival, yeah, that would be better.
With guidance. If she wants an extra 1d4.
She kind of does.
I kind of want that.
Yes. I keep reading survival as stealth for whatever reason. Sorry about that.
I do the same thing with persuasion and perception.
I just have a +4 to survival, and I only have a 0 in nature. So
yeah, I'm good. The survival actually fits a little bit better. So yeah, you do see that as you're going by, you haven't really noticed a ton of people traveling. You haven't run across any really super hostile animals or anything. So looking. As you're walking towards the north, let's say you come across another clearing that has a little bit of an outcropping of rocks, a small cliff that you could huddle up into, maybe set up a fire. It seems safe enough. As with anything else, I mean, it seems like it could be a good location for a long rest.
We want to do a long rest.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. We've been roughed up a bit. A long rest. I just wondering if we wanted to cast any spells other than alarm.
No. All right, so we're going to do this long rest thing. Are you guys going to set up a watch, or are y'all going to do anything in particular over this long rest?
I'd volunteer for the first watch and be willing to set up alarms in the beginning so that we would know any non basic nature animals or whatever come in and seem harmful.
I'll take the second watch and learn how Corn did that cool trick, removing the urine from my pants.
I guess I'll take whatever watch has the most light that's left, since, again, can't see in the dark.
That would put Siona at third.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, we gotta do it.
All right. Let's see here.
So essentially, I'll do four 40 by 40, which would be 4 of those.
Okay.
That would be anything larger than a squirrel that would be that could be harmful, I guess, or hostile.
All right.
Sorry, let me get my perception. There we go.
All right, one more from Siona. All right. One. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Hey, did you see that dragon?
We don't like to talk about the dragon.
It was a red dragon?
Yes, it was a red dragon. You could see that.
What do we know about dragons in the world we live in? Are they rare?
To leave them alone.
Well, that would be for sure in my book at the moment.
I think I know that they spit fire. They spit hot fire. And I don't like fire. Fire burns me a lot. So automatically that's a no for me, dog. Red dragon. Oh, that's interesting. They're different color chromatic dragons. Which I know. I don't know if Raziel knows. Aren't reds like kind of the most angry or feral of the group?
They're the most intelligent of the evil dragons.
Oh, great, evil dragons. Did Iron Song or did the sword start singing when it flew over?
She would have heard bells ringing in her head as it flew over. You were correct. Y'all are going to see some spectacular map drawing here in just a second.
Anybody concerned that Thongren isn't around?
He probably found something disgusting to wear.
Maybe that was Thongren wearing a dragon costume.
Let's not give him any ideas.
If dwarves could fly. Well, he didn't get that idea from the Manticore.
I don't know, that dragon skin probably make good armor. They probably want to sell it.
That's true.
All right.
A dragon scale shield might be nice.
Whoa, scale the map down, Picasso.
I have no sense of proportion.
Camp next to a river of blood. That's all the poop from us.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll explain in just a second.
This was still arguably better than my dry erase maps.
One more second. The dice did not roll in your favor, apparently.
Oh,
You telling me you just don't make it up as you go for narrative convenience?
Man,
last time I accidentally drew something.
Is corn peeing into the fire?
that's how you keep wild animals away.
I was trying to draw a square. What happened to the? They changed the. How does this work anymore? There. Can everyone see that?
The box?
Okay.
I do not see it. No big yellow box.
Messing with.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
All right, sorry about that. I think I'm good to go. So you go through the watch order. Eldon has set up his big yellow box, and somebody has decided to pee in the fire. The river of blood looking thing to the right is kind of the dirt-ish path that's kind of been worn a little bit. That's kind of the pathway you guys were walking. The green hash marks, tick marks, is representative of the forest that's kind of around you. This little brown swoopy thing is representative of the cave, that little outcropping of rocks that you have come across. So,
There's a cave.
what's that?
There's a cave.
Well, it's not necessarily a cave. It's just kind of like a big cliff that kind of goes over you. Say 10, 5 feet or so. It's enough to give you a little bit of cover. It's not a cave per se.
Okay.
Like I said, kind of an outcropping. It's not a cliff, but cliffish, like cliff-light, if you would. So you're there. Eldon has done his deed. Raz comes along and he's practicing his prestidigitation. He keeps peeing on himself and then cleaning his pants and doing it again. I mean, it's good fun. And then, we're going to leave that alone. So, and then on Siona's watch, everything's going, relatively uneventfully until she hears this rumbling in the tree line. And as you're hearing it, it sounds like it's you hear the sound of hooves running down from the north, and you happen to see what appears to be 3 boar come running down towards the fire towards you. So Siona, you are on watch. You happen to see this coming your way.
So you said horses?
Boars.
Boars. Great. Before we do anything, question. I haven't had a long rest yet because the night's not over, right?
Correct. But
could it be one of those short rests, possibly, where I could use some hit dice before this happens?
Well, this is over halfway through that long rest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say yeah, because I was going to bring that up. I see everybody. I see.
I have 7 health if I don't get to do anything.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to let you do that. I'm not.
And I would have been practicing my music before my shift.
Yes. So, yes, go ahead and take some of those. Take a hit dice or 2. We'll treat it as a short rest for this time period.
So we get a plus a 1d6 on that?
Yeah.
That's just 1d6, not per dice, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I've still got or at least my character pad still has 5 temporary hit points. That's totally concentration expired by now, right?
It's 8 hours, and it hasn't been 8 hours since we left that fight.
Not concentration.
No, there's no concentration on that. It's just an 8-hour duration.
You might be getting real close to that coming up, though.
Oh. Because we were in the fight, we teleported to...
It was midday. We're saying, I mean, if it's there, it's going to be right on the edge of it going. No, actually, we're on the third shift of this. That 8 hours is gone. Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, 8 hours is gone.
Mark it 0!
Do it now! Is that a...
That's a foul! Mark it 0.
All right. So, is everybody as healed up as they're going to be? As they want to be? Not as they want to be, but as they're going to be?
I am.
Eldon, is that including you?
Yes. I did 1 hit dice and got my extra.
So, I'm looking... Your character token must not be correct. I'm showing 9.
Hold on.
That looks better.
Mine shows nothing.
Yes, yours shows nothing.
Invincible.
Or dead.
Not 0. Nothing.
Did it kick line?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to fix character tokens.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm going to reset your character token one more time. Will?
I see a green bar there now. With no hit points, but I do see... Oh wait, hit points are in green, so I see hit points in armor class.
And you can still move it?
I can.
Yay! All right. All right. So, point of orders. I think that we've treated this as we've got all that going. So, Siona, you see this trio of wild boars come ramping around this little cliff area. And you do see that one of them appears to be a little larger than the others. That's well, when I say a little larger, hang on. Noticeably larger than the other two. Because I can read character sheets. So what do you want to do?
Well, first, is everybody where they want to be, where they're sleeping? So I can visualize?
Yes, I'm asleep.
Okay. I want to keep the fire in between me and them, but I also want to use... How close are they?
They haven't gotten into our...
Yeah, they haven't gotten into the box yet, so...
And the box is the wire thing?
Yeah, so it'll basically make a clanging sound that would wake us if we hadn't noticed anything. But you noticed it, so...
I'm just going to let them keep sleeping. And if they come...
Well, they're running at this point in time. So
Okay, well, if they come, I'm going to use that loud sound thingy that I have, the charm.
The Barker's Loud Box.
Yeah, to make my voice 3 times louder.
Okay.
And just roar at them.
Okay.
To try to send them off course.
All right, so
run away from us.
That's going to be, what is that, an intimidation roar?
I'm sure that will also wake us up.
Yep.
Should. All right, so roll me an intimidation roll, please.
Hey, you got advantage on that too, don't you?
Yes.
Are they evil boars?
They don't have to be evil.
They are unaligned boars.
Her sword gives her advantage every time anyways.
Okay.
Plus, I'm really loud.
Yes, you're really loud. Well, what do you yell at these guys?
Oh, I just like roar. I don't know. Like I'm a crazy wild animal.
All right, I love it. So, as you sit there and roar, not only do you get the attention of these three boar, they see. I mean, they saw the light and they were coming at you, towards it, but they heard this, not just this big roar, but it was this, since it was amplified so loud, it was this ungodly thing, and it just scared them. You see them as they start ripping up grass, trying to do a 180, try to turn around and run like hell away from whatever the hell that was. And they're going towards this. They're just booking it.
Those look like giant rats.
I agree.
No, rats can't stay in formation like that.
So they're running around. Not only did you scare the shit out of them, but you also managed to scare the shit out of the other three guys who are sitting there. They were asleep, but they are no longer sleeping.
Still using the charm, I say, it's okay. You can go back to sleep now.
You're stage shouting at them, "It's okay!"
I'm sitting
And
up.
then I go, oops, sorry, guys. There was just some wild animals. I had to scare them away. Go back to sleep.
So you're saying that there's this brown line that is the ledge, or that red and the green is the ledge?
The brown line is the edge.
Okay. I feel like I'm in a good spot still, so I'm going to say, okay, guess you've got it covered, and put my head back down.
I just fall right back asleep.
I clean the pee off my pants again, and I go back to sleep.
Did anything else happen?
No, not on your watch. No, I'm sorry. I was trying to get those boars to disappear, but let's just pretend that they have gone away. So at the end, that's the end of your watch. So Corin, you kind of kick him back asleep with your stage whisper, and you kick him awake and say it's your turn. And he, takes the opportunity to watch the sunrise. So
And then Thongrim magically appeared.
Thongrim did not magically appear over there.
He was there the whole time.
He was, and there
He
was.
was the big boar.
So you guys wake up in the morning.
It's Thongrim a boar now.
Don't give him any ideas. He's got enough. So are you with us, Ash, at least in spirit?
See him on here.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, I hear a yeah. I read a yeah. All right. So throughout the night, so as Siona did this gargantuan roar, Thongrim picked up on this as he was, tromping around in the woods, kind of looking for things, and he managed, with that big roar, managed to triangulate y'all's position. Yeah, triangulate for a barbarian. He took some math, and he has found and spied your campfire, and he made his way and found you guys as y'all woke up the next morning. So
No long rest for him.
there may have been. He may have taken a long rest before so he can move at night.
Sleep in a tree.
I wouldn't put it past him. Okay. So Thongrim has rejoined the cast of characters now. And you guys have finished your long rest. Almost, you have evaded a wild boar attack. The alarm never actually went off. So, what next?
Well, should we go check out whatever it was that was burning the other day? After I up my spell my hit points back to full.
Yeah, let's bring it.
Yeah, go ahead and get everything recouped there. We'll count this as a long rest.
Frittatas.
Has anybody did anybody take get a cooking kit or anything?
I'm going to cook out prestidigitation.
Well, most of my stuff is in the saddlebags on Orin's. I'll never see most of my stuff ever again.
They'll teach you not to travel light.
Well, at 8 strength, I really can't carry anything in my backpack.
I'm 9 strength. I don't like.
I mean, I can find food and fresh water.
Yeah.
Which includes berries, small game, whatever, but I don't know if I have cooking stuff.
Well, no, I was just asking.
I can prepare the. Let's see, I've got purify food and drink.
So,
I have a mess kit. Is that a cooking kit?
Sure. I was just asking. I actually didn't mean anything by it. It was just.
Oh, well, I have a mess kit.
Okay. I would assume that's cooking related. Yeah. Sorry, I'll watch my words a little more carefully like that. But Thongrim, he has some eggs and a handful of things, and I'll say it in my best Thongrim voice. Oi! I finally found yous, and just in the nick of time, I was about to eat all these things here myself. So it seems like he's offering you some of this random eggs and edible berries and mushrooms. So at least y'all appear to have something. I'm awful at it. I'm awful at this thing.
I can't do that accent either.
Oh, just wait, because I've painted myself into a corner with some things. It's going to be awful. All right, so y'all have. We're going to say that y'all have eaten, and just for the hell of it, let's say who decided to eat any of the stuff that Thongrim brought with him.
And now you say that, not me.
Well, it depends.
Now I'm scared, so I don't know. I went out gathered in the morning. Maybe use my hunting trap. I have one of those too that I forgot about.
Yeah. I think so. We know about this here.
Because if we remember correctly, Thongrim has an iron stomach and pretty much can resist just about any damn thing.
I've learned my lessons with the mushrooms. However, I've not learned any such lessons about berries.
All right. Well, then roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okie dokie.
Well, I just did cast as a ritual purifying. If it was poison or disease that he's fighting against, it was. Removed.
Oh, I'm immune to disease, so
Yes.
can I eat stuff?
Sure.
But that's not. What if it's poison?
Food poisoning is caused by a botulism.
So is that disease?
This
Possible.
hemlock is delicious.
Oh no! You saved against it. There were some. Did anybody else eat any of the berries?
Well, as I said, I did,
yeah.
but
No. I see that. I see what you did.
I need to roll as well.
Yeah, go for it.
What was it? It's a constant.
Constitution.
I'm a little hungry. So. Saving.
Yes.
But he purified it all, right?
Yes.
I don't believe your yeses.
What's he doing?
He absolutely purified them. Yes.
I get guidance on saves, right? I
Did you touch yourself? No. I don't think you get them on saves.
Guidance, a save thing.
Okay, so they are not poisoned and they are not diseased, so they are perfectly safe. But the reason I'm going for a Constitution save is there may have been a little hallucinogenic properties to them.
Oh, goodness.
To which only Eldon... Eldon, once again, you are the only one who succumbed to the hallucinogenic properties of it. And so you just happen to... You see, for the next hour, these kind of what you imagine are these little, like an angel and demon thing that appears on your shoulders that you sense are talking to you the entire time. Now, you are the only person who can see them, and no one else sees them, but you're starting to have a full-on conversation with these guys.
How big are they?
They're like the little angels and demon things. Like if you've ever seen, did you ever see The Emperor's New Groove, where Kronk had the little baby Kronks, the angel and the demon one talking to him? You know, and one of them's trying to tempt
If
to.
they fit on my shoulders, they're about fly size, so I
Sure.
kind of brush them off.
We're gonna say they're little miniature versions of you that are sitting there, and one of them's trying to tell you to do good things, and the other ones are trying to tell you to do bad things. And you can try to swipe them off. That's also fine. Yes, just like the green fairy from Cool World.
Righty.
Test.
Hey, there he is.
Y'all are the worst twins ever.
All right, so Eldon, for the next hour or so, you're going to be kind of dealing with these little distractions on your shoulder while everybody else is kind of looking at you like you making sure you're okay because you keep trying to brush your shoulders off.
As if I need to roll with disadvantage.
Hey, at least you're not blind.
Oh, maybe if I were blind, I wouldn't see these things.
So you're going to willingly look at the book?
You just close your eyes.
But you still imagine them talking to you.
Or I could cast blindness on myself.
Dude, you should totally do that.
Alrighty. So, what's up? What are y'all doing?
I guess we're heading towards the structure, yeah?
Siona's casting a spell.
Okay.
I want to cast Find Seed.
Did you say find
level 5.
seed or find steed?
Yep.
Seed.
That's the word.
Okay.
We're not playing that kind of game.
No, we're not.
I'm feeling a little
uncomfortable?
feeling a little weird. Jeez. I didn't think Nero would get mad at me.
Take your pants off.
No.
Do it.
Stab your friends.
Yes, this is how this is going to work. I have declared it to be so. Thongrim is going to play the role of the demon Eldon, and Raz will play the role of the angel Eldon.
They're stealing all your gold.
Give Raziel all your money.
I don't have any money. I can't carry it.
Charms.
It's all with the dot with Aaron.
What kind of steed do you want?
They never loved you anyways.
I think a warhorse?
What kind of feet do you want? I want my feet.
Yeah, warhorse. The warhorse.
They never liked you anyways. They take you for granted. Murder them while you sleep.
Piss on Corin's short sword, and that's poison damage.
Hey, buddy.
as fast as you can.
Punch the children.
You should be able to control the warhorse now. And as we've talked about in the past, it's never a good thing to punch your children, no matter how many times you may want to.
No.
Swatting at my shoulders. I'm swatting at my shoulders.
He means serve the children punch. Don't misconstrue.
Rum punch.
And after finally getting to summon my steed, the long tread to level 5, I gotta drop out for a bit.
Awesome.
But Will's gonna keep playing for me.
Okay, do I need to give him access?
You do.
Probably, yeah.
All right.
Children are delicious.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm no longer hungry.
Do they stay crunchy in milk?
World of Warcraft is to the devil.
It really is.
Just say no.
It's too late for me. Save yourselves.
The expansions are a trap.
Yeah, we had drama 3 weeks ago, so that's what she's taking care of now. There was some uproar in our guild, so we did a big coup, stole everything, and left.
Nice. All right, so Siona has conjured herself a nice-looking warhorse there, who, because she has left, we are going to let Will name the warhorse.
Give me a couple minutes, I'll get a good one name.
Make love to the horse.
All right, at some point, I'm going to have to give. I'm going to have to make Eldon make a throw on one of these. So, be careful. If I ask him to roll, if I ask him to roll a persuasion check, and we're going to make it a DC 15. No, we'll make it a DC 12.
You are real. This world is an illusion.
They want to steal your copper. You should put it in your butt.
I don't have any copper. I'm broke.
That's how you'll have the upper hand.
And then spend it.
All right, that's a good one. All right, let's roll a persuasion check there, Eldon.
What?
Yep. Roll.
Persuasion?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Wait. I'm using it as whether or not you were persuaded. So
I have to persuade myself?
Yep. DC 12, and you persuaded yourself to do it.
Wait. Would I save against that?
I told you a DC 12.
Oh.
Don't worry,
Every time a piece of copper passes through your hand, stick it up your butt, and then spend it. That's how you get the upper hand.
Okay. All right.
Stop. I separated my rib and it hurts to laugh.
They've never touched anything that's been in your butt.
So y'all are still standing here. Thongrum is
I feel like if you've never seen this clip, it sounds like we're losing our minds.
I don't know what you did. Make some homemade hot sauce earlier. We don't know what was in it.
Did you ever watch the Upright Citizens Brigade?
It's been a long time. Like around the lines of the hot chicks room.
There's a skit they have there where his brother's trying to teach him how to be like a boss negotiator, and he's like, all right, I'll tell you the secret. Every time a penny passes through your hand, you stick it up your butt, and then you spend it. And he's like, I've been doing this for 30 years. That's 30,000 pennies a day. Like, it's just this whole thing. It's so bizarre, but it's like the greatest sketch comedy skit. It's not the thing you want to watch when you've torn a rib.
No. The horse's name is Dazzle Novak.
Mr. Ed.
Nope. We have a name.
She'll appreciate that.
Make love to Dazzle Novak.
All the way to the elbow.
There we go. So you guys have finished the long rest. Eldon is busily trying to find some copper while arguing with his shoulders and trying to clean them. But what are y'all trying to do? Y'all still see that there appears to be some smoke from what appears to be a forge over towards the northwest. You haven't heard any more dragon wings since the first red dragon swooped overhead and scared the knickers off some of you.
I, as usual, will follow Sienna, assuming she is taking the charge and going towards that structure.
She did say that she was going to do that.
Looks like the horse rides her.
That does appear to be the case.
We said we weren't playing that.
I see what you did there.
Alright, well, she will mount up on Dazzle and lead the way.
Alrighty. Very good. So she is leading the way, and let's just do one nature check. As a group, everybody, roll a nature check. Not it. That seems to be it. And we'll say that's good, and good God. Get those rolls out of the way.
Well, I don't bother with my... I can roll.
I grew up in the city.
Yeah, so,
I've never seen grass.
Raziel manages, he's looking and he's like, okay, he's able to navigate through the tree lines and navigate, Siona's in the lead with Dazzle Novak.
But you don't recognize that name, you guys are missing out.
I do not recognize it, but is it BoJack Horseman reference? No, okay. Alright, so let me put it on my list. I've got Upright Citizens Brigade that I've got to watch, and what's this next one?
Moonbeam City.
Moonbeam City. What do I have to watch that on?
I don't know. It was one season on Comedy Central and it got canceled, but it's hilarious.
Got it. I'll try to find it. All right. So Raz is able to discern everything that he sees from the nature, and is able to guide you guys towards what appears to be a small town. It's, you see it off towards the northwest. That's where this path is leading you, and you see this town there. It seems to be off in the distance. It's a fairly decent-sized population for the area. While you can't really count, you get an idea. It's 1,500, 2,000. There's a lot of people there. So you get close. What do you want to do?
Is there any type of a guard gate situation?
How long does it take us to get there?
We'll say 3 hours. So just before the noon hour.
So these things have stopped bothering.
Yes, those things have stopped bothering you. They were fun where they lasted, but don't worry. If you find more of those berries, that may happen again.
Eldon, Jesus Christ, what were you talking about back there?
Yeah. I think Thongrim found something we could sell. Where'd you find those berries?
Are we going to take this into a Breaking Bad area?
I don't remember.
Neutral. Never do anything.
My dad used to call them giggleberries.
Yeah.
Giggleberries.
The laughter is actual pain.
That's how you know they're working. Giggleberries. That's made the notes. So, yeah, what was the question?
I asked about the city. I said, is there any type of like a guard gate situation? Or is it just kind of a free wander in and out?
It's not necessarily free wandering. I mean, you do see that there looks to be some guard towers or some, guard posts. You see some walls, but it's not necessarily like big built-up stuff. You do happen, actually, you know what? Roll me a perception check.
Gets guidance.
You don't necessarily see anything out of the ordinary, but you kind of get the feeling that it just seems a little odd that it's not necessarily completely fortified, but it just seems a little odd to you.
From the outside, how does this compare to Aldenburg, size-wise?
It is much smaller. Well, where Aldenburg was more of a bustling city with multiple districts and everything, this is more of it's larger than Bilgendab was, with the Bergens, not the Bergens, but the whatever the where Burgle. Yes, thank you. I just watched Trolls over the weekend. So it's larger than Bilgendab, but much smaller than Aldenburg. So we're talking, it's a town. There's enough people there where there's some commerce, there's some things going on there.
Is it predominantly like humanoid?
It's predominantly humanoid. Although you do notice some other creatures that are a little you're not used to seeing what they are.
Hey, look at those. I'm not used to seeing those things.
I know, those features are so different from ours.
So indescribable.
I certainly can't describe them.
So when Raz takes a look, he's looking at him, and you notice what appears to be wings, large wings over these creatures that are, on average smaller than the standard elf, but taller than the standard gnome. And they appear to have beak-like appendages. It's almost like they're, humanoid birds.
Have we ever seen anything like these on Ecleros?
No. Ecleros was an island. You could have, but no, you have never seen them in person. Eldon may have read up about them during his quest for knowledge.
Let's see.
Hold on.
History?
I would say either history or nature.
I'll take history over.
Take history for 300. So you just historied the hell out of that thing, and you recall that you have read about some of these types of creatures, known as the Aarakocra. They are sometimes known as the bird folk. They typically evoke fear and wonder out of people who are not familiar with them.
They make a nice cola.
Yes, Aarakocra cola. Typically, they are immigrants and refugees, since their heritage is typically from the elemental plane of air, but there have been known pockets of them in this area. They typically like to explore. Their outposts functioning as footholds in a world both strange and alien to them. But they, you're looking at them, and they do stand upright. Some of them might reach as tall as 5 feet. Long, spindly legs that taper down to sharp talons. But they're covered in feathers. Their plumage typically denotes what the membership of a tribe. with the males being brightly colored of red and orange, and females of more brown and gray. So as you get closer to the town, you do see this building that kind of resembles like a tall, kind of tall for say 2-3 stories, but it's kind of got this nested area around it. It clearly looks like some large birds have decided to kind of build this nest there.
We're inside the city proper at this point, or just outside the walls?
Y'all are still outside it, but you can see it. I mean, you can see this. It's it's a fairly prominent area of this town.
So do they speak, like, or are they intelligent creatures to communicate with?
Yes, they are.
Do we want to approach to try and talk with them?
Probably. I mean, do we see like any? You said it's not very fortified, but are there like noticeable guards just patrolling?
You do see people patrolling the area, yes. But as you get,
is there like a main road that we could maybe, or an entrance we could kind of funnel ourselves towards?
Yeah, I mean, you see that the road kind of, and you're right. I'm sorry about this, and this is one of the things that I do not have a map for, so we're kind of making it up as we go here. So as you come out, you do see a road. I say a road, so it's beaten into the path where the grass and the dirt's there. You see that people have been funneling into this area. There are some cart tracks. There are some things. So you see that it's well traveled. It's not an unknown location, but it is well traveled. So you can see coming in from one area of the town and even heading out of the other side, there seems to be a main avenue that goes through.
Well, I say we kind of head over towards that, so it doesn't look like we're being sneaky and just going in, figure out where we're at.
Go in and ask about the area. Find out what we can about what's going on and why William LaCroix would have sent us here.
All right. So who is taking the lead?
I will.
All right.
I'll be just adjacent to Siona. Do I see any guard standing posts? Any like standing merchant stalls? Anything like that?
Got quiet.
Okay.
I got quiet and I stopped pressing my button.
That might be why you got quiet.
That would do it. So you see the gnome on one side and the Aarakocra guard on the other side. They don't really seem to see much of a threat. You walk in, you start seeing some shops, a merchant area. Over to the left, you see an aim stop. There's an olives garden across the way. There seems to be an armory, another Victoria's Secret there. And yet another, what appears to be a chain of another gnome depot is here. You do see a gathering of what appears to be travelers down one of the streets towards the inn, or towards the square. It's an inn known as the Clumsy Magpie. And then you see, again, you're getting closer and you see this nested area up top. You're looking up towards it, and it definitely appears to be a gathering point of the Aarakocra community of this township. You also notice another temple area. This area does seem to be governed by it looks like it's more of a theocracy. It appears to be a kind of a theocratic town. And in dominating in the central square, there is another temple there. However, it is not a claw of Bane that emblazons the front of it, and the flags and all the tapestries. It's one that you are unfamiliar with.
What's it? Does it look foreboding or friendly or?
So you're looking at it, and it seems to be fairly welcoming from what you can tell. Um, there's a lot of people bustling in the merchant areas. There seems to be a lot of haggling over merchandise and bartering. Uh, seems to be peddlers of all sorts of wares. It seems to be a fairly bustling community.
Hmm.
So where do we want to go first?
You want to loan me some copper?
Some copper? That reminds me, how much money do I have? I have not updated my gold in forever. Have we divvied up everything lately?
Have we been divvying it or keeping it in the central stash that was being carried by Sangrim?
Central stash, as far as I know, because, again, I haven't touched my gold.
I mean, we've been periodically earning stuff, but even then, the stash says we only have 50. Well, we have a rainy day fund of about 100 gold. That was counted for Quinn, plus our normal stash of 56 gold, so about 160 gold.
I feel like I've lost some gold then.
Well, there was. I forgot when we did it, but we did. There was. It was a couple of sessions ago where Chris went through and he divvied everything up.
Oh, about how much gold does one have? I've got 250.
340.
Fiona's got about 200.
I have none.
That's definitely wrong.
Oh, no.
Well, no. Here's my problem is that I bagged everything in the saddlebags of Orin the Mastiff, and so whatever I might have had would have been with him. Otherwise, I would have been encumbered. So I have none.
Well, we do have the rainy day fund.
Hey, Gabe, join me over in the DM channel real quick.
Uh-oh, am I being bad?
No. Mm-mm.
You're not being frugal. I mean,
And I don't know.
well, you need that powdered ruby for certain spells and whatnot.
All right, we're back. We're good. Sorry.
Now go talk to Ash. Ash has 0 gold as well.
Wait, what?
Did you?
Yeah, I never wrote any money down. But we had some point. But we were trying to figure out whenever I came in, whatever I had, but I'm not too worried about it.
We have a plan going forward to fix this, so it's not a big deal.
Okay, what is that plan?
We're going to keep all gold in the stash until we come to a place where it's actually going to be useful. Then we'll divvy it out as necessary. No point divvying it up in the middle of a dungeon because we don't need it at that point.
That was kind of what I was asking earlier. What were we keeping in the stash? Because I know we kept our gems. We had gems as well.
Yeah, we were talking about that. How we haven't cashed those in yet. So there's a couple hundred.
Right, that's what I kind of figured would be there.
Yeah, if there's not the rainy day fund separate, that's literally I just liquidated Quinn's or no, I'm sorry. The rainy day fund, we can kind of get rid of that and just say it's all one stash, which is about 160 gold. So that means we have 160 gold that we've earned in the past, I don't know, 12 sessions that we have not divvied up.
Right. And looking at Quinn's character sheet, when he had someone amassed somewhere around 300 when he had disappeared.
Yeah, I think we said that if no one spent anything, everyone should have about 350.
Right.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Alrighty. So are we good?
No, because that said, let's just do that thing that we promised we said we were going to do, which is split up the money.
All right. let's split up the money.
So each of us gets, what is 158 divided by 5?
Do we want
31.
to liquidate some of these items too, or not?
Well, the other option is we just keep all the money together and we just like, oh, you want to buy this? Okay, that sounds reasonable.
So everyone add 31 gold to your personal.
Okay, that will make me encumbered.
Money no longer accounts to encumbrance.
Yeah, we're
Magic.
Don't worry about that. And as far as encumbrance rules, just don't go crazy. I mean, we're not going to be able to loot everything and say, yes, I've got 15 tons of stuff with me. You know, we're not going to do that, but I'm not really paying much attention to encumbrance. Just keep it within reason.
I need that 7th short bow, though.
You're going to have to deal with 6.
Why even bother?
Gosh. When you roll the game, you can do whatever. Can't even make it.
Have you all read 8-Bit Theater?
Putting it on the list.
A little bit.
All right, so y'all have split that up. Going back to Ash's question, liquidating stuff. Are y'all liquidating anything? Or do y'all want to find a shop where you can do something like that?
I mean, yeah, is everyone here about to go willing to purchase however many gems we have? Small town, they might not need 20 rubies.
Granted, they might be willing to trade them. We were buying if we needed to buy something, but I think gems are, I know we're not, if we're going to hand wave the encumbrance of cash and stuff like that, but they can be lighter and smaller to carry.
Right.
I wouldn't worry about the gemstones so much, but have we picked up any items that we're not going to use? Is the stash up to date?
Yeah, the stash is updated. The last thing we got was the +1 battle axe from the castle captain.
Yeah, from the captain. But here's the thing. As far as Castle Frederick went, you guys, that was the only thing you guys got from there. Y'all didn't really get anything else.
Right, and we left our mounts.
And a bunch of my blood.
And blood, yeah, we left some of that. Some of my skin got burnt off there. So
So to your question, Eldon, yes, we've got a couple of personal accessories, some pendants, some bracers, etc., worth about 50 gold that we could probably pawn off.
Okay. Do we want to try and get steeds for carrying things? Anything like that?
I don't know. It kind of seems like if we do that, we're at risk for suddenly losing them again.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
Because most of the places we've gone, they're like, all right, let's hitch them up outside, hope no one steals them.
Yeah, I've heard of these things called bags of back there.
I've heard of bags as well, because that's all I heard you say.
Bags of holding?
That's what he implied. All I heard was bags.
Yeah, that's what I implied. I heard as well. I will say that one of those was in Castle Frederick. I had a thought.
Yeah, we had other plans.
Yes, you did.
We always see.
I guess I'll stop into the Gnome Depot real quick.
Going into the Gnome Depot. So the Gnome Depot, a 2-story stone-walled building with a gray tile roof, the air filled with motes of golden light. Inside you see the shopkeeper, an affable male gnome named Fardry. He appears to have once been an adventurer, but has retired, so he seems to be not necessarily haggard. But you can see that he's seen some things. So as you walk in, welcome to Gnome Depot. How may I help you?
Hello, good squire. Yes, we have a few fine items. I was actually hoping that we could make a sale today and not the other way around. However, I wouldn't mind perusing your inventory. Perhaps a trade might be in order.
Interesting. What is it that you might have for offer?
Well, let's see here. I start pulling stuff out of the giant bag that's on Thugger's back, and I pull out the feather bracers and the iron chain and the iron pendant.
Okay. We put a value on those, right?
I think you said 50 gold each.
That sounds right. You post what you said there? 'Cause... Very interesting. Iron chain. Yes. And iron pendant. Very nice. Very nice. The feathered bracers. It's not something I normally deal with here. But I might be able to take these other two off your hand. What is it that might be able to interest you in?
Well, let me just see what you've got here. And I ask about his inventory. You know, is this sort of a franchise? Is what I've seen in Oldenburg the same thing here? Or actually, sir, have you ever heard of the city of Oldenburg?
I have. We have one of our sister stores over there. I believe it's run by a lovely lady by the name of Hone.
Yes, we've had interaction with her before.
Oh, I bet you did.
It's quite lovely. Yes, couldn't have said it better.
She's a lovely lady. I wish I had an opportunity, if you know what I mean.
I do not. Well, I was hoping. Is the inventory here the same?
It's we have some similar items, but every store sometimes has a unique offering.
Well, let me take a look. What is a candle of the deep?
Oh, a candle of the deep, you say? It's very interesting. Very, very interesting as he goes to pick it up out of the case. Let me tell you a little bit about that, shall I?
I don't have Xanathar.
I know, it was just out of arm's reach. The candle of the deep. This fine candle, the flame of which is not extinguished when immersed in water. It gives off light and heat, just like a normal candle, but you see, the thing is when you put it in water, the fire stays. But be careful, it can still burn you like a regular flame. So don't you be sticking your tongue on that one. And he kind of eyes the dwarf over there. Your friend there seems a bit special, so I want to make sure he understands.
Oh, no, he learned his lesson the 4th time.
Did he?
I don't know. Y'all want to trade for a candle? Maybe a little spending money?
I don't need it.
I can also see where the charms listing has kind of screwed up a little bit on that. I'll have to fix that. He does appear to have a few items in the charm realm as well. Including a mithril charm band, which holds 4 charms, as opposed to the regular 3.
I I'm actually going to take a minute to look at those.
Where are we looking?
I sent a list to the Discord channel.
Oh.
You see here, the gnome here in Coatalaco, the Gnome Depot has a small assortment of charms. I'm not sure that our Aldenburg branch has quite gotten into that market yet.
No, it certainly has not. So let me take a look here at what you've got. So one that negates damage, one that increases jumping and running.
Yeah. I believe the dragon skin shell is the one that negates damage if you take damage before your first turn. The breath of Kynereth is you can expend your charm to triple your jump distance or double your jump height for 10 seconds.
I actually wouldn't mind the sweet rainbow. If anyone else wants something.
Sweet Rainbow. That one allows you to find the location of the most valuable object within 30 feet.
Does anybody want anything off the list?
Okay, where's the charm? I see the links you posted, but which one's the charms list?
At the bottom. And,
Oh, I see. They're just named what they are.
Yeah, I can. Where's the charms spreadsheet?
He just posted it to the Discord.
Okay.
1 second, I'm conferring with Lindsay if she wants anything.
That frostbite one's already, or that family of charms has already come in handy against, like, I think the Griffin or the Chimera. What was it, Manticore?
Yes, it did.
But it's also very expensive.
I also had no idea how much gold you guys had.
Not as much as we thought.
No, I guess I was thinking we had copper level gold. Alright, so I know he's asking, so anything else? And I missed it. How much did we put on the pendant and the locket? How much did we put on there?
50G each.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard.
Neither one of us want any.
Okay. So I see you eyeballing our charm selection there. What does it? I'm sorry. I normally introduce myself. My name is Fardry. I'm one of obviously a shopkeeper in this lovely town of Coatalaco. What did you say your name was again, sir?
Oh, Raziel Ventanian. We are representatives from the Guild of Aldenburg. We do not hail from there originally. I dare say you would not know where we are from, but I suppose that is the last place that we could call home.
Ah, I see. Far away from home. I've been known to be on the road myself for a while, but those days are long behind me.
And the name of this place again, could you refresh my memory?
Oh, of our township. Yes, it's Coatalaco. Coatalaco. It's just like it's spelled. C-O-A-T-A-L-A-C-O.
That's Coatalaco syllables.
Hey.
It's named for more of the indigenous people.
Oh, of course, the Coatalaco knees. Yes. Everyone knows that.
Indeed.
Of course, that's what we call them. What would you call the locals?
Well, in our area, it's more known for the Olman tribes from ancient history. I mean, there's not much of it anymore, but yes, the city here, the tribe that was here were the Coatalacans.
Well, I don't believe my companions want anything, but
Actually, I would like something. I would like to pick up that set of woodworker's tools, if you don't mind.
All right, so one of those, and one of those, and did you want one of these charms?
No charm, just the tools.
Well, that'll be 1 gold, please.
And here you go.
Oh, much obliged, much obliged. And you, Master Raziel, did you want anything?
well, besides the shit, I've already forgotten the name of it. The sweet rainbow.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind a gold's worth of rations for myself and my friends. For about a week of travel. And I suppose a pair of your common clothes as well.
5 silver and that, with the sweet rainbow and so that's about 51 gold. You've got we'll call it we'll say the iron pendant. I'll do a fair swap trade for those items.
That sounds fine with me. Here's 2 gold to keep the tip.
Oh, and if you wouldn't mind a blanket and half a dozen sheets of paper and parchment each.
Very good. Here, we'll out of the tip that he just got, he'll hand over the 6 pieces of paper and what you just asked for.
6 pieces of paper and about the same amount.
Same amount of what? You
Parchment.
Okay.
Parchment.
Yeah, that'll work out of the tip and plus the blanket there. Yeah, so I think that all evens out.
I gotta take a quick bio break. I am done shopping. Someone else, please.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else that I can help you with here at the Gnome Depot, I wish you well and happy travels and enjoy your stay here at Coatalaco.
Thank you.
All right, so you've picked that up. Is there anything else that y'all? I mean, in terms of shopping and everything, if there's something that we can handle offline, we can do that too. Unless there's something specific that you want to try to RP or specific information that you want to learn, which I'm completely cool with doing that. Y'all let me know. I'm just keeping an eye on the time.
Well, I'm looking through the list. You have on the Victoria's Secret the +1 shield of darker chambers. That is not in my DMG.
It is a +1 shield. It just has a flavor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not if I can afford that or even use a shield. I was just curious.
Yeah, well, when I wrote that down, I looked at it and it's like, what the hell is that? Oh, and then I remember why I wrote it down. It's just a +1 shield. That's been taken from the Dark Chambers of Souls. It's a marketing ploy.
Well, I mean, there's nothing I want to RP there, but I would like to purchase that set of studded leather armor. Maybe trading in my leather armor if I'll get any gold out of that.
He'll give you half price for it.
Okay, so just 50 gold total for the studded leather. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if this actually affects my AC, or if roll 20 is going to still be weird.
All right. So anybody else on that, or are we still wandering the town?
Let me see if I need any healing potions. Nope, I think we're good.
Okay, so you're in the town, and again you see a temple. The Aarakocra looks at you, kind of snapping his beak together. Would you quit it? I do not appreciate you throwing your food at me. He starts standing up from where he was. His wings start flapping. One more time, dwarf, and you will pay for it. We do not do such things here. I do not know where you're from, but this is not acceptable. You see him turn around. Guards, we have a nuisance! He's throwing his bread at me! And we do not take this as racism! Not all birds like bread. And he's waving his wings, flapping them, and people just kind of looking at him, just, they cross to the other side of the street like nobody's really taking this guy too seriously.
Hey, my AC were updated correctly.
All right, so the other areas in the town, again, you see what appears to be the Aarakocra region. There is that temple.
But I have... Sorry, hold on. Okay, so my new AC is 15. Just keep that updated.
Got it.
That's only when you're carrying a shield, right?
No, I bought a better armor. I can't use a shield.
Yeah, he just bought new armor.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the shield.
No, I need a feat to be able to use a shield, and that's just not really worth it.
The shield's kind of expensive.
Well, just the only reason... I mean, if I'm in combat, that's usually bad. And if I'm in melee combat, I want to have a second attack to, increase my chance of sneak attacking.
Okay, so we do have the areas here. It's midday at this point, maybe a little afterwards. You've been not carousing. That's a different topic. But you've been browsing through the area. You see what the town has to offer. Nobody seems to have been taking you. Like I said, as a threat, you seem to be blending in fairly well, as if travelers and adventurers come through here every now and again. So you're looking at, you see some of the areas that you have the temple, you have what you've learned is known as the Aarakocra Ward, and then you also again have the tavern, the Clumsy Magpie.
And as we've been said, that not a place where it doesn't look like the Church of Bane is very prevalent, right? We aren't seeing their symbolism.
You have taken note that there's not been a lot of many of the Banesian church folks around.
What are the symbols we have noticed? Have we noticed red flame type things? Have we noticed any?
No, you do.
Yes.
You don't see much in terms of the red flames. But as you look around, you see a lot of green, livery, with what appears to be a golden lady on it. As you ask around, and you quickly find that it's the Temple of Joaquin, Waukeen, Joaquin. This township appears to be a again, as a more theocratic in nature, but seems to be governed by the priests of the Joaquin Temple.
Is there a bird on top of the temple? Is there a Joaquin Phoenix?
I was waiting for it. No.
Can't put it past me.
Putting it down in the notes.
Their priests are prohibited from riding any form of transportation. They must do all their travel walking.
No, that was a stretch.
I hate you guys.
I know, but that one you should have gone first because you couldn't follow the Joaquin Phoenix.
That may be coming back. Although you have, Raz, you ask around and you try to make that joke, and you see some of the kids in the area. They look at it and it's like, I told you, it was real, and they run off.
It? What is it? What are they talking about? Oh well, whatever. Were they looking at me when they said that?
Well, you made the Joaquin Phoenix joke, and they happened to be walking by you, and they heard it, and they looked like in confirmation, like, I told you it was real. The Joaquin Phoenix is real. And like you inadvertently settled an argument between these two kids.
It's confirmed their Jesus exists.
As long as they were walking by.
So I'm going to say that's a strike 2 on the second attempt on the Joaquin.
No, it's just as funny here. It's just very on the side of the mic. I'm dying.
Just keep hitting it till everybody starts laughing.
That's what she said. Wait, what?
Joke's on you. She was laughing the first time.
Alrighty. So, it is 9 o'clock. It's not as late as usual, but do you want to keep moving forward? Do you want to wrap things up? Is there anything? Do you want to go to one of these other places? I mean, I know that we're in this new town. We have not found a lot of the rumors outside of this new bird Jesus that's apparently going to become a thing.
But where are we standing right now?
I would say that you are standing just towards this part of this merchant's district, facing towards, you see where the Joaquin Temple is, and also the clumsy magpie is in eyeshot.
Is there? Especially, I want to ask somebody, about the dragon. So, where is there someone nearby, or?
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to get anything big. I just want to know, like, hey, you guys see that dragon? We can't. If that's going to start off a thing, we can save that till next week.
No, I mean, you can confirm as you ask passersby. You say they confirm that we saw that dragon. It's kind of scary. Some of the Aarakocran have been walking by, and you just at the sheer mention of it, their feathers just kind of bristle, and you see them just shake like no. Like somebody's invading their airspace, quite literally. But yeah,
is it a common occurrence? This dragon live around here? Is this the first time you've seen him?
It is not a common experience, although this is not the first time that they have seen a dragon. But we'll say a dragon sighting twice in a year or two. Twice in a year seems to be more frequently than not. They are. It's uncommon enough for people to be, kind of cowering a little bit when they hear about the dragons. Or when I say dragons, I'm going to say dragon in the singular.
Does it have a name? Do they know its name?
They don't. They don't know what its name is. But the people that you've been talking to, they do seem to be Um, they do seem to think it was the same one that they saw the last time.
Does it, does it attack the village at all? Is it a threat?
Not that anybody's seen. It's just one of those. They see it. They know it's a big, scary thing, but they're thankful that nothing has happened to their lovely town as of yet. You do hear that they feel like their wards that surround the town will do a good bit to protect them.
Okay, wards, like magical wards?
That's the feeling you get from it. Nobody's really willing to talk to you too much about it, but you've heard the phrase. So, but yes, that should confirm that. Yeah, this is a fairly new thing for them. I mean, they've seen them before, but it hasn't bothered them yet.
Okay, I guess that's all I want to ask about the dragon then.
Okay. All right. So, anything else? Where do y'all want to go? Do y'all want to start heading in a general direction towards the temple, towards the inn, towards somewhere else?
Well, it's still early in the day, right? Started midday-ish, so let's head to the temple, maybe?
Okay.
Is that where we would think we would find kind of like the leader of the town, or because
It did say it was kind of theocracy, so yeah.
So yeah, if we see if we can figure out, I'm not saying this out that anyone other than our own party members would hear, but we were sent here by William to find someone in particular, so maybe they would know of any local legends or things like that we might need to.
Well, I know it's been a whole 8 hours of game time, but did he send us here, or did he send us away?
I think the last thing he said is the last known place of the keeper of another key, right?
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
So we need to find, I guess, the lord of the area and might be around, which is why I was asking earlier if we noticed any symbology that, symbols or anything that might, bring up show the red flame of some sort.
It might not be a flame thing.
But not seeing the sign of Bane is even, is also a good thing too. So find out where, kind of a more specific idea of where we are, and we know we're in the south, but what's it like in the south?
It's hot and muggy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Now what Raz mistook as the Joaquin Phoenix kind of looked more like an Aztecian golden eagle. One of those. I can't really draw things, but kind of that old school,
totem looking.
Yeah, totem style eagle. So looking around, you do kind of see that type of motif in this general area, which kind of goes with the whole. I mean, the name of the town has that feel to it, and Coatalaco. So you kind of feel like you've kind of got, it's a different culture here.
Well, I mean, I hate to say that since it's our fault we've been gone 2 weeks, but I'd almost say we should go ahead and kind of call it.
I agree, and that's why I'm trying to get a feel for what y'all are doing, so I know what to bring up for the next time.
I mean, I would like we have to get probably get rooms at the inn, but also I have questions for people in the temple.
Okay.
Yeah, same. And I just noticed the full shop inventory for all the other shops, but I'll do some email shopping.
Yeah, that'll work. You've been working on that one a while, haven't you?
No, it just came to me.
I'll give you credit though. That one's good.
That one was good. I'm glad that I'm able to provide y'all such amusement.
I will spend the rest of the week coming up with the rest of them, though.
And then you'll forget them all. Sunday morning, you'll forget them all.
Oh no, I have a feeling he's going to write them down.
Absolutely.
I will be getting messages and all sorts of things. How about this one? You come up with one that truly catches me off guard, and there's inspiration for you. Awesome. I love it. All right, so that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and call it. We'll know that we're heading towards the temple. Next, you guys have your questions on what y'all are looking for, or what the area is, and we'll go from there. So, is there any other lingering questions or lingering things that we need to tie up at the end of this?
No, the only thing I was thinking, Chris, do you need to update the inventory sheet, and then if there's anything in there that's just, I don't know, I think of it as a video game, right? They sell all junk, Adam, if you want to take a look at it and just be like, this stuff will never be used. It's the only reason it was given to you was to, serve
just because he'll never use it doesn't mean I won't find some creative use for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to asterisk what it was purely given for the purposes of, supplying gold, we can talk about over email whether or not just to liquidate that stuff.
Yeah, right. I'll see what there's some stuff, but I mean, I do occasionally use it as a source of, other things.
Also, it's kind of nice not knowing if we should or should not sell something.
Well, don't do that then. All right,
you never know. That's spoon.
We need to look at our list.
You got to save that.
Let's look at our list and see if we want to liquidate it.
Yeah, we'll
just to see if there's anything. And then, if so, Adam, do you just want to kind of hand wave the price on that, or do we need to?
No, I mean, you can
find somebody to sell.
No, I mean, just send me a list. I mean, if we want to start an email chain, we can go through that, and we'll do all that shopping offline. And I'll we don't have to find somebody. We'll figure it out.
You can always just we could always have a Discord thing for it. We could make a new channel where a text channel that just lists loot, like a loot channel.
That'll work. Whatever y'all want to do, I'm game.
Yeah, I like that too.
Well, what's wrong with the stash spreadsheet though?
Spreadsheet works. Yeah, I'm saying we could also just have the loot channel where you type things in, and then it can be added to the spreadsheet later.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And handle transactions through it or whatever.
That way, we put it in there. It's going to be there forever, so we don't lose it.
Okay, gotcha.
So there's a new channel just for that.
All right. So we've got some things. You have a couple of leads, and that is looking at the temple. You've got the Aarakocra Ward. You guys have discovered a new to you race of. Yeah, there you go. That's the one that gets me. So, yeah, I like it. That's the one. All right. So as I said, you get one. I'm going to award you an inspiration point for that one, Thungram.
And then he needs to do all the talking. Hello, welcome to the church.
You've got the.
Wow! You're not bird people at all.
This is crazy.
We're going to start with the walking.
We all have to do our best impression.
Am I going to have to find a cowbell
and
pad?
with that,
you're going to have to add negative inspiration?
I've got a fever.
The only prescription is less dragons.
More cowbell.
I've got a fever, mostly from all of these copper pennies in my asshole.
I got this watch from a war. It's very important to me. I had to smuggle it out in my ass. But it's got inspiration.
Oh,
One watch cost 50 gold. Description smells faintly of something.
You can turn back time. It's quite a thing.
wait, have we gone from Christopher Walken to Woody Allen all of a
It's a little
sudden?
Travolta. I was going to say it's a little Travolta.
I heard Woody Allen in there.
The Walken Travolta line is very close.
You were walking the line a little bit.
Ah! This will never get old.
Hey, the
All right.
important question of the session here, I think, is Eldon still high?
No, that only lasted an hour.
Oh, man.
Fortunately, no.
Sure felt longer than that.
Eldon was saying some dark stuff.
Yes, he was, and I loved every minute of it. I can't wait to go back and listen to this.
Bird people. Kill all the bird people.
I hear deaf people.
I invite the rest of you to eat as many berries as you want.
If you kill them all, you can wear their wings and learn to fly.
You too can be Icarus.
That was a bad trip for me. I won't.
You saved some, right?
I don't know if Thongrim has more.
Just remember what they look like. They could come in handy later.
They look like giggleberries, right?
Yep.
Their power is in their testicles. Eat them to gain their strength.
Oh my god. Alright. I don't think I'm going to cut anything out of this episode.
Are we still recording?
Oh, yes.
He's recording 24/7 on this channel.
I think there goes my run for mayor.
Bye.